What's guys, some of this? Welcome back to Shiitake News. I'm happy to have you here. Excited. It's 3 a.m. on March 3rd, the year of our Lord 2020. Today we got a few news to cover. We'll keep it pretty light. No coronavirus today. Well, I mean, it's there every day. And I'll probably put a link of a good accurate map people could follow. But today we're going to go over more Democrats joining the Republican side. Seems interesting. Recently there was a lot of special elections that was won over by the Republicans, and it was held by Democrats for like 30 years, 33 years from what I remember. And I see it happening more often. Like we have, let's see, party swaps at this is the Ross Traver. And now it's a small area, like 11,000 people, I think, very very small. But they used to be 4-1 on the Democrats. Now they changed to 3-2 on the Republican. And they made a swap because they feel having Bernie and his policies don't match what the local people want, what the average voter wants. So they decided that their views were more in line with the Republican side than on the Democrats. And then a few weeks, or 2 days ago, I think, 2 or 3 days ago, we had 8 from Mississippi. 6 Democrats and 2 independents joined the Republican side as well. And that was a kind of a shocker. Right? I believe it was 6 Democrats and that joined Republican and 2 Democrats that became independent. Either way, Democrats lost 8. And you see it happening more and more. And even the big one, the big win for Trump was the Republican Jeff Andrew. He switched from he's already I think a senator. He switched to the Republican during the impeachment. And again, I gotta ask myself, why is this happening? For 2 reasons, I believe. Bernie Sanders' ideas are unique and very very very. It's a socialist. I mean, there's no need to sugarcoat it. So it's splitting up the Democratic Party from what I see. Now, over the years, I was born in Cali, so I grew up on the left side, deep left side. Good God, I was left. And I'm a minority. I'm a migrant, or son of a migrant. So it's even more embedded in me that I should be a Democrat. And that's how it was. That's how it's always been. But they keep drifting further and further away from their own ideals. And it feels like the Republicans kind of consolidate around a few simple ideas. Now, if you take a Democrat from like 1990, like Clinton's era, he wouldn't be a Democrat nowadays. He'd be considered a Republican. He was all about the border walls. He was all about the not making things free. You know, they all had their chance to make free healthcare and free free colleges and all that. But none of them decided to do it. And I think that was in line with what the people want. What Bernie's promoting is ludicrous to us. I mean, to Republicans. Just because it's instead of you paying $500 a month in health insurance, we're gonna tax you $500 a month, and you'll get free health insurance, which basically what it breaks down to. And it'll be something we decide. It seems ridiculous to me. Oh, and we'll tax you an extra $300 a month to take care of free, universities. Now, I think the lending program that goes to college student is criminal because there's interest in it, and that's ridiculous. Why would you charge interest on somebody's future? And it's not like a one time. It keeps collecting interest as the year goes by. You know, making sure these people are in debt, and that's just a hard way to start life in debt. It's possibly the worst way to start adulthood, being in debt that much. But there's seems to be less and less reason why not switch over to the Democrat or to the Republican side. Before it used to be, well, the gays, they don't like gays, so we can't join the Democrats. or the Republicans? Well, Trump was the first president to ever approve of gay marriage before he became a president. Everyone else was like, no, no, no. And once they joined, that's all right. But Trump's the only one that was like, yeah, that's all right from the beginning. And you know what? Nobody cared. As far as the right side, nobody freaked out, and all the Bible thumpers that we had back in the day are pretty much done, or not done, but they're pretty much okay with that idea. There's a lot. I particularly like the Bible. Not that I read it often or that I memorize any parts of it, but I think it's a wonderful story. Good morals, but some of those rules are archaic, and we got rid of most of them. I don't know why they're still clinging on the gay marriage one. It's unholy to two men. What do you mean? There's a lot of things that were considered unholy or a sin that are now okay. Oh wait, you're wearing you're wearing something made of leather. That's unclean. But somehow we can skip that part. But I don't know why they still stick to the gay marriage part. So that's gone. If you are gay, you're as welcome as anybody else on the Republican side now. And then why else? I guess the big stickers are gun rights. But Republicans mostly support all rights. Every single right allotted to you, whether you exercise it or not. They support the government not infringing on them. Because that's not their duty. Their duty is basically to protect them. It's the opposite. It's to make sure you have access to all your rights. Freedom of speech, right to bear arms. People can vote. Who can vote? All men are created equal. This and that. So if that was if gun rights is your issue, well, you don't have to buy a gun, but you do have the right to it. What else? Abortion, I guess, would be the biggest one. And even abortion is kind of tricky because it's not like it's a sin. It's not like most Republicans nowadays are like, oh, it's a sin, you're going to hell. No, I doubt hell. It's more like they're trying to protect the kid and they're trying to protect the mother. They both have rights. It doesn't matter to me personally, but that's a tricky issue. But the point is, that's not there's no reason that you can't have this discussion and nobody's going to get violent with you. It feels like the right side has been a lot more welcoming. I went to these parties that they have where a bunch of, it was assumed that they were righties, got together and they did board games and this and that, and it was fun. They were pretty lighthearted. They make jokes of themselves. A lot of self-deprecating humor. They make fun of themselves a lot. And I thought that was funny. They played Cards Against the Humanities and they thought each one of them was funny. And then I did the same thing, but on the extreme opposite, where I had to use my pronoun before I introduced myself. And I had to memorize whatever everybody else was called. And I said ladies, and that was really offensive to some people. I was like, excuse me? So that was a lot more tense and a lot more reserved, it felt like. It felt like people weren't really speaking their minds. And it's become difficult to be on the left. There's so many clubs. And even me would be categorized. And, well, you're Latino. So you belong, you're part of the Latino. I was like, well, I'd rather not be a part of any group. Why can't I be part of this one? Well, you're not white, or you're not black, or you're not this. It's like, that seems like that feels like we've done this before. I'm not trying to keep people separate. I don't like the hyphenated American. I don't like that I'm this type of American. No, you're just an American. North American if you must. But basically, that's it. So the parties become more welcoming to everybody. So I feel like it's easy now to just make the switch. I mean, weed, I guess that was a big thing back in the day, that Republicans really hated weed. Nowadays they're like, why not? Alcohol kills more people than weed, and that's legal. So there's less and less reason not to join the right side. And the economy is doing well. So I think a lot of people want to keep things going as they are. And this article about people complaining we still like to get our money back from Jeff Van Drew. That man hasn't changed his policy. He still believes what he believes. All his principles are still intact. He just doesn't want to, the Democratic Party is no longer aligned with his principles. So you elected him based on what who he is, and he's still who he is. He's just on the right now. He feels like he can get closer to his goals on the right side than he could on the left. So this people asking for their money back seems weird. It would make me think like Hillary losing and asking for money back and this and that. But I don't know. It used to be the wall, but now the wall's kind of necessary for the coronavirus. Now the virus won't stop the wall won't stop any viruses, but it will stop people who are sick from coming over, or at least possibly sick. At least they get checked in if they get checked at the port of entry, and they're clear and they go through the right way. At least we're keeping that regulated. So, just a thought for you. Why not? What do you have to lose? The walkaway campaign has been pretty successful. A lot of lefties are switching over. So far, I don't see any huge downside to that idea. Especially the right side is a lot more flexible than it used to be. Trump brought it more to the left than any other president. I remember Bush was like, "What about gay marriage?" You're like, no. Everything else was a vague answer, but for gay marriage, Bush was like, no. Only Trump was like, why not? He's from New York. I mean, he's pretty close to left. He's probably the furthest left president we've ever had. It's funny to see him compared to Reagan, but that's just on the economy stuff. And you know why I'm open-minded? Because of this. I come from a culture of accepting everyone. My culture is violent in a way, but peaceful in another way. And I'm talking about the Marines. I was a Marine, and we don't have African American Marines. We don't have Asian American Marines. We don't have Japanese Marines. We don't have this and that. All we have are just one title, Marines, and it's a great title. You get different shades of green. Everybody's green. You get dark green Marines, light green Marines. You get a lot of different shades, but basically everybody's green and mean and lean. Anyways, they just had their corporate gold exercise, and I'm sorry, it's taking too long to load. Let me try again. And corporate gold is a good time. It's a fun deployment. It's when you take I think you deploy for almost a month, and you head on over to the Philippines. I think we head on over HSV. It's like a ship. And once we get there, we do training exercise. We stay in the Marines' little huts. And they're miserable locations. I do apologize. This is taking a lot longer than I had hoped. But they're god-awful situations. Because it's literally just a shack. There's no windows. There's mosquitoes everywhere. It's hotter than you've ever seen it. It's hotter than anywhere else I've ever been, except for Iraq and Afghanistan. And you just have a good old time. You do training. You eat some food for cheap, and you try new things. And even outside of the field, I had they were selling frog legs. I think it was frog or toad. And there's no I can't in the Marine Corps, so I ate literally everything I came across. Especially, I was tired of eating the tea rations they give you out in the field. You can only eat that for so long. But they welcome everybody. They accept everybody. Once you join, you're part of one group. You're just all Marines. Doesn't matter. Look, there's a dark green Marine, a light green Marine, a Marine wearing glasses with, yeah. But this is the culture I come from. Wonderful, aggressive and fun. Anyways, what they do there is they kill snakes, and they kill roost chickens and lizards, and learn how to kill them, and they drink the blood. I didn't put that picture up because that was pretty graphic. And they drink the blood, and they just have a wildness time. They eat scorpions and tarantulas. I never ate the tarantula, and I never ate maybe I ate the scorpion. I do remember the snake, though. The snake wasn't bad. And even in Okinawa, they had snake in their liquors, habu sake. And they had this huge habu snake in there, and you can eat chunks of it, and it's like super concentrated alcohol, but it's good. But this is the culture I come from, and they welcome everybody. And now they're out there having a good time. I put this just because it's it's they couldn't be any closer together than they are here. While the nation's being divided and people are arguing this and that, these group of individuals are as close as you're ever gonna see, and it's a lot of fun. I had ice cream that had rice at the bottom, coconut shaving, and condensed milk and ice cream. And I thought it was the weirdest ice cream ever. And I had it, and it ended up being the best I've ever had. And I don't understand why. And every time that ice cream guy made a killing because he was riding by the base and he didn't know we were there. And we bought up everything. We're talking about Marines with like 5-6 ice cream cones each. And the guy we were tipping crazy because it's like, it used to be like 35 Bach, which is their currency, to $1. And we were just like, oh, how much is this? Oh, it's 15 Bach. Like, well, here's $10. Give me 5. Like, that's bad math. Like, whatever, it's good. Just, I don't have change and I don't want to carry your money. So just give me ice cream. It was just a good old time. But, yeah, I'll leave it on that note. These are good people. Hopefully we all come together. There's no reason we can't join all the right but I mean, it's still government. Never trust the government too much, but give it a chance. If they say something you like, attend a rally on both sides. Go to a lefty rally, and then go to a righty rally, and then see what fits you best. But they're all pretty welcoming on the right, at least from my experience, at least. Even when I considered, nobody wanted to know an introduction or how I identify or any of that. They're just like, oh, hey, what do you think about this? Like, yeah, I like that. Yeah, me too. Cool. So, have a chance. Keep an open mind. Have a good night. And お疲れ様でした。